just because there's so many new faces here tonight, I just want to give a little recap. Throughout the last year, the theme of our Come to the Table gatherings has been blessed to be a blessing. And first, we took time to recognize the different ways that God has blessed us. And then we took time to express our thanks to Him. And then we talked about how we can be a blessing to others. One of the practical ways that we felt like God was asking us to do that was by inviting our CCF-supported women missionaries to join us at the table. Taking time to hear from them, to pray for them, and writing words of blessing and encouragement to them. Tonight we're going to be hearing from another CCF-supported missionary, Pivaral. Did I say your last name right? Okay, good. She and her family live and minister in Guatemala, and Cindy Ellman has actually been there to visit them as part of our missions board, and she's going to be our CCF representative this evening. I would like to welcome you guys to come up. And yeah, you can introduce Patty, and then you guys can take over the show.
Hi. Patty's history kind of started here in East Texas about 20 years ago. So they had a long-standing relationship in this area. I personally got to meet and know Patty in 2004 and in 2006. She came to here to East Texas for the first time, in which she stayed at our home and shared their vision for Guatemala, and that was to reach local laymen who were preaching the gospel but didn't have an understanding of the gospel nor the ability to read the Bible. And with this program that we're going to kind of, she'll probably later on explain, and the blessings that came out of that, we feel truly blessed that not only CCF but Hideaway Church has been able to support this ministry, and out of that, a lot of seeds and a lot of people have come to the Lord. And we thank you for your prayers and your support over all these many years. So I'm going to try to get started and start asking some questions. So, Patty, really what we want to talk about is how did you come to the Lord?
Well, I grew up in a Christian family, and just being in a Christian family, it doesn't mean that you're a Christian. Especially, there were this pastor that every Sunday, all the kids that received Jesus Christ, he gave a cookie. So every Sunday, we were 7 in our family. So we received Jesus every Sunday. Now finally, we realized that we need to do a personal confession, and I don't remember 6 years, but I was 6 years.
So, Patty, tell me about when you started this journey and what your vision was that you saw as a child at 6.
As I told you, I grew up in a Christian family, and my father, he was working, and we were able to see him every weekend, but we grew in the Lord, not only for this little church, but also because my mother, she really took time to teach us the Bible. She was pushing us to memorize verses. So we learned and we prayed. And in this little church, something happened. This church was a little bit different. The Sunday school teacher, she began teaching about missions. And when she said missions, we didn't know what it was, that word. So she said, we're going to learn about Africa, we're going to learn about India. And she was telling us the story about the missionaries there. And because we are 7, she says, I'm going to ask Nelly, my older sister, to paint this book. So the book is coming tomorrow, because coming next week, because she has said she likes to paint, okay? So I have the book. My sister told me, don't touch it. But I was every day looking at the book, and I was so happy seeing how the missionary was sharing the gospel, and how this little girl received Jesus Christ. And I prayed. I was 8 years old. I want to ask you something. Do you remember a year ago, what did you pray? Do you remember your prayer a year ago? No? I remember I prayed when I was 8 years old. And I said, Lord, I want to be a missionary. I want to share the gospel. And I was with this in my mind. I grew up with this prayer in my mind. I didn't know what I was praying, but I was excited. So I finished my high school, and I went to a Christian school. And when I was in high school, I did the decision, well, I'm going to study university, but then I realized I really love the Lord. I don't want to go to university. I want to go to a seminar. I want to be a missionary. So I came to talk with my parents, and my father, he was so upset. I said, no, not you. I'm going to pay you the best university in Guatemala. So you choose whatever you want to study. I really don't care. Just go, get your degree, and after that, you can do whatever you want to do. I obeyed. I did. And before I finished, I started studying missions. He didn't know that. So when I graduated from the university, I graduated also from missions. And I told my dad, listen, I love you, I obey you, and here is my degree. Now I'm going to a short-term program in the Philippines. So 6 days later, I graduated and went to the Philippines in a mission trip. And that's when I began working in mission by faith, you know. But during the time when I was at university, I got a job. I was working with Jewish people. I don't know why I was working with them, but they were paying a lot. I made the design of furnitures and everything, and I had money. I was making a lot of money. So there was this time, like, maybe I should quit my idea of working full time for the Lord, and maybe I can support missionaries making money, you know, but I couldn't. There was something in my heart, like a fire, that I said, no, money is not important. So also, when I was at university, I got a grant, and they gave me the opportunity. They told me, you are the first one. You can go to France, Italy, or Brazil. Full scholarship for you to get a master. And you deserve to have it. I said, well, I'm going to the Philippines. So they didn't understand. They told me, you are crazy. I said, yes, I'm crazy.
So in the Philippines, that's where you kind of found your place in missions for Guatemala.
Yes, I was in the Philippines, and we were doing a Bible study, and I said, I pay a lot to come to the Philippines, and we have training for different Mayan people in my country. We can bless them. I mean, it was nice to be there, and I really enjoy it. So I called this missionary and said, you know what, we can do something like this in Guatemala, and we don't have to come out of Guatemala, and we can start developing missions, because the word mission, it was like only for Americans. Blonde, blue, white people, pretty people, you know, but not for us. So I told him, why don't we do something and we can bless the church? The church in Guatemala needs to learn how to pray for a missionary, needs to learn how to give for the missionary, needs to learn how to select the missionary, not to send anybody, needs to support the missionary. If they can learn step by step, we can do something. So when I came back to Guatemala, we just made the plan to develop a mission program. And we were sending missionaries from the Guatemala City to the villages. And it was such a blessing, because we prepared the church in the villages, the churches that they didn't understand the Bible, and we sent these Guatemalan missionaries, and the sending church, they learned how to do this little thing step by step. After 10 years, there were more than 300 churches with the missions committee and sending missionaries around the world. And we praise the Lord, because they began learning step by step.
Wow. So, Patty, Héctor came into your life. He wasn't the love of her life, though, at the beginning. So tell us about what your dream was and how Héctor played in it.
Well, I told the Lord, Lord, I love you with all my heart, but I cry every night. I told him, when I was in the Philippines, I struggled. I do a great ministry, but I was far from home and everything. But I was struggling. I said, Lord, I love you, but I want to get married. I can't be alone. I was living alone. Maybe you are strong. And I admire this strong woman. Not me. I was the weaker person. Weak.
That's right.
Yes. So, almost when I was 18 years, I prayed and I said, okay, someone told me, why don't you make a list? So you can pray with this list. I was excited. I wrote 3 pages. This is the man that I want. 14 years praying with tears with these 3 pages. Every single thing, every stupid single thing. I was praying. So I was praying for him, for my husband. When I became 30, I'm not gonna tell you my age. When I became 30, I just said, okay, I'm Latin. I was pretty, skinny. But nobody's going to see me because I left my profession. Now I'm working full time. Men scares me. They run away. They don't want to be with someone full time in ministry. So I just fold my list. I cried that night and I just put my list. And I said, Lord, if you are going to give me a husband, I just want someone that will love you with all his heart. To love me with all his heart and to work together in the ministry. I don't want to have my own ministry and no. If you will give me a husband, I'm going to follow him. I don't care if I'm going to be behind him or I just want to be next to him, working together. And that was the last prayer I said about my husband. And I just followed my list. So today, 2 years later, Héctor showed up, my husband. He wanted to work full-time in the ministry because he felt the Lord called him to work, especially with pastors and leaders. And we were praying for 4 years for someone to come in the mission to work with pastors. But nobody wanted to come because we needed to raise money. So there were many people, so how much are you going to pay me? No, you have to raise your money. And he was like the one that, I don't know, they say, he's stupid or what? He's a civil engineering. He used to have a big company, a building. He built one of the famous mega churches in Guatemala. He was making money. And the Lord called him when he received Jesus Christ. He went to a seminar, and after he finished the seminar, he says, Lord, I love you. I want to work for you. I want to work with pastors. And so he knew that CEPAL was looking for someone. Like CEPAL means serving pastors and leaders, the mission that we are belong. So he went to look for this job, and he says, are you ready to be a missionary and to raise your money? See, yes, I'm ready. Do you know what the meaning to raise money? No, but the Lord is calling me. So when we made sure that he wanted to be part of our mission, the field director, an American guy, blue, blonde, white. No, he was such a nice person. He came and says, I have an announcement. Héctor Pivaral is coming, and you have been working for 10 years with this program, mission program. And he's going to be your director. And I said, why? I have been working alone for 10 years, so why do you want me to put someone up? Because he's a man and you're a woman. Okay. I was so upset. I wanted to cry. So I didn't show my. So I prayed, and the Lord gave me a wonderful idea. Next day, I came to talk with the field director. I said, I'm agreeing what you say. I want to respect the authority, and if you want to put Héctor as a director of this mission program, I really don't mind, because I'm going to be continue working. So I really don't mind who's up. I need to be accountability for the Lord. But listen, if he wants to be the director of this program, he needs to begin from down. So he needs to go to a mission trip. And he needs to see how mission is. He needs to live for 2 months in a very poor village. He needs to preach. He needs to sleep in this ugly bed. And he needs to go to the bathroom out of the house. So he needs to learn everything. And there is a place. And this afternoon, I had the blessing of someone beautiful that I met when she was so little. She is from this area, from the Pocomchi area. Párate, mamita linda. She's from the Pocomchi area. So I sent Héctor, gracias, mi vida linda. I sent Héctor to this area, to a village. We used to send missionaries before there. The 2 missionaries, they spent the time praying and fasting because the witch doctor was so strong that all the time was raining and they couldn't work because it was a lot of mud, and always they had something awful under their bed, snakes, these things, and the witch doctor was strong. So I decided to send Héctor to this village. So the Pocomchi area. There were some churches asking for the mom area, and I said, oh no, sorry. With a special place to go. So we said, I prepared the room. So we sent Héctor to this place, and specific to this village. So then his church, we want to visit our missionary. What missionary? It's only 2 months mission trip. He's not a missionary. He is our missionary. Okay, let's go. So we took them. The car came into the village, but God forgive me. Because they said we want to visit our missionary 3 times. It was only 2 months. And 3 times, we were busy. But we needed to be nice with the churches, okay? So, okay, but you know what? We need to walk. No problem. So we stopped the car and we walked for 2 hours in the mountain. So they went only 1 time. I was very mean. So they came to visit Héctor with heavy things. Héctor was calling them, bring piñatas for the kids, bring this for the kids, bring this for the pastor. So they were carrying this. Then I felt guilty, but I said, well, otherwise they will be here next week. And no. So finally, when we came, I said, Lord, where is the rain? All the time that I came, last year, it was raining the same time. Where is the rain? Now it's a sunny day. So Héctor came and he hugged his father. His father was part of the Missions Committee, the pastor and the leaders. And he said, hola, Patty. And I said, hola, Héctor. Hi, Patty. Hi, Héctor. I have a good news for you, Patty. What good news, Héctor? You know what? I want to show you something. And he came to the church. See these stones? Yes. Belongs to the witch doctor. He became a Christian. I just went outside to the church and I cried. I said, no, Lord, I'm not gonna fight. If he is the person that needs to be up of me and to be the leader, I don't care. You are using this guy, so I'm going to stop being so mean, okay? So I just said, it's in your hands. If he wants to be, so then he says, I don't want to be the director of this program. Patty's doing very well. I came to work with pastors and leaders, and that's it. If you want me to work with Patty, it's okay, but I respect her. So they was like, wow, I like it. So he is like a year and a half younger than I. So for me, he was too young. So I thought he's a nice guy for my best friend. So he didn't like my best friend. He was in love with me, and he began just near me, and he began, how are you? So finally, there were two people in my life that they were very important. It was like, you have people that, if someone that you really know and say that this person is walking with the Lord and said, you know what, God said this, you will listen. And these people came and says, Patty, Héctor Pivaral is interested in you. And I said, I think so. Tell him yes. And then another one came and says, Patty, Héctor is pure gold. Tell him yes. And for me it was like, but I don't feel anything. So I prayed one night, because prayer is part of my life. And I said, Lord, I don't feel like attraction. You know, I don't feel even that I want to be near him. But if he is the right person for me, I want you to ask me to give me love for him. And that's it. So next day, I used to get up early and went to walk. Next morning, I was so happy, and I felt something in my heart, like I can't explain the joy, the peace that I felt. What is in my heart? And when I thought, Héctor, it wasn't, I can't explain what I felt, but it came from the Lord. And when things come from the Lord are different, it's not this, you know, this. So I told him yes, and before he told me, okay, we're going to get married in 9 months, because we were old, you know. So before I was getting married, I was fixing my things, and the list came. I just moved a few things, and the list came, and I was crying. Every crazy thing that I wrote, please, Héctor, everything. Things like, I want to marry with a civil engineering. With the same university that I went to the best university, the most expensive. My father didn't want me to be in the ministry, so he paid. So I want him to play the piano, to play guitar, to sing, to write, to go to the same seminary as I did. Nobody do that. So, and all these little details that I wrote, everything, and I said, Lord, no way. So when you pray and you put in God's hands everything, He will answer. So I want to encourage every single lady here to begin writing your list. Do it. The Lord answered, but you have to be nice before the Lord to walk with the Lord. So that's the way that I met my husband. We got married, and he says, I don't want to be your director. And I told him, okay, now that we're married, I want to quit the ministry. What? No, I want to be on your side. No. What you're doing is great. I want you to do that. Because I need time to begin the ministry that the Lord is called me to do. So we were working together, but then this beautiful girl came. And then it was okay until her work was perfect, until 2 little boys came. So I just told Héctor, no more. I can't be in missions, and I just want to be next to you. I want to stay with my family. And he began developing the Bible education program. And he says, okay, it's time to stay at home. And I stayed at home for almost 10 years or less. And then he says, okay, it's time for you to be with me. And because you're going to help me with ladies. And I was excited. And I praise the Lord, because this ministry, we are doing this ministry together. We are not, I don't like to say we are equal. No. We have a different print. We are special. We are different, everyone. We are one. We are one, and we are in unity. Okay? And this is what we are working with my husband. I respect him. I'm following him. He is the director of the mission. He is the director of the Bible education program. He says, you are the director. I'm the coordinator. I am the director of women, the Bible education program. And it is nice to work with a godly man. It is nice. We are working together for the kingdom of God.
So she's going to share one little story. So during all these years that we worked, we get to hear wonderful stories about their children. But there's a particular individual in the family that always seems to have the most colorful conversations with you. Would you like to talk about Benjamin?
Okay, I have twins, brother, and Benjamin is a special one. Benjamin is the one that makes us laugh. And the fake picture of them at school, Aaron was like this. And Benjamin said, Aaron, see, I'm happy. And you are very serious. And Aaron says, no, I'm happy. You are smiling. So Aaron is always like a deep thinker, but Benjamin is more, So once there were one problem at school, we have nice stories with Carissa, the twins at school, and they love my kids at school. They are always asking, how are they doing and everything. So once Benjamin had a problem, and we created a group of prayer in Guatemala to pray for our kids, and we went to this group once a month at school. We were praying for our kids and for the needs of the kids. So, but that day, Benjamin had a problem, and I said, Benjamin, I'm going to talk with your teacher. And he says, why? Well, because I heard this note. They sent me this note yesterday, so I need to talk with her. No, Mommy, no, please don't do that. Why not? I'm here. Mommy, forgive me, but I feel embarrassed of you. And I said, okay. It was like a for me. So you feel embarrassed because I'm fat? Because I'm old? Because I'm old and I'm wearing glasses? Because what? He told me that. Mommy, you are fat, you are old, you're wearing glasses. You feel embarrassed because of that? No, Mommy, no. So what? So why do you feel embarrassed of me? Mommy, because of your witch mole. You little, I just went to go with the teacher. Witch mole. Witch mole. Lunar de bruja. But you know what? 2 months later, he got one more. And a year later, he got another one. So he's at the university. His career is only in a private, very Catholic, conservative university with men who wear black dresses. And the priest. And they always say, hey, you please take your piercing out. I said, no, it's my mouth. I'm sorry. That's Benjamin.
That's really how we tell them apart, too. So, Patty, what would be your number one struggle that you find?
Well, maybe the struggle that we have is the same that all the missionaries have. The 95% of missionaries, they're struggling with other people. We overcome any spiritual warfare. We do this by fasting and praying. We overcome any financial situation. God is with us. But just working, I share with you the way that God called me. We left everything. Héctor left everything because we feel this in our heart to work for the Lord. And we have this call. But when you are working with someone that is in the ministry, because it's easy to make ministry through to make money through the ministry. That's really struggle, not only us, but the whole mission. And we have 2 people in our mission that they are like this. And COVID last year, it was so horrible because this guy came and he began attacking my husband. I mean, attacking, you're stupid, you're blah, 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 because he wanted to close the mission, to close.
Yes, close the doors.
Close the door for the mission. He says, we have to sell everything. We have to fire the 2 only people that we have. They have been working for more than 25 years with us. We need to fire them, and we need to sell everything, and we need to close the mission. And I said, why? Because of COVID, we don't have money. And I said, no, we don't have money, but we have the Lord. We are not going to do that. We are going to pray, and we are going to ask the Lord what we need to do. And because he answered that, he began attacking my husband in a very horrible way. And it's been hard because he's been attacking the family, but not only the family, people who's working in ministry a lot. But when he do ministry, because he worked with many American churches, he's a nice guy. But it's just when he is with us, he's like, ah. So we realize that when the Lord has a specific call, you learn to live by faith, not by sight, neither by money. So what Héctor did was, we are not going to fire anybody. We are going to talk with them that we don't have enough money, so we don't want to send them, let them go. So we talked with these people, these 2 people that says, would you stay? Can we lower your salary? We don't want you to leave. We're in lockdown. They weren't able to work. They weren't able to go to the mission, okay? And we talked with the owner of because we are renting the office, and she also lowered the price. So the Lord was with us. We were raising money to cover some of the expenses, and the Lord provided. So the struggle that every missionary has is working with people without a calling, without God's calling. Just working with people that they see there are many people that knows that ministry makes money and they want to be there. And in the moments like this, you can see who's really in God's side, walking by faith, and who is just giving trouble because money is not coming.
So in your program, though, what you've been doing in the middle of COVID is you started the notes to the pastors. Can you talk about how that has affected all of Latin America and what y'all been able to do during COVID?
Okay. You know that our ministry is working among pastors that they don't know how to read and write in these remote areas, and they are not able to go to a Bible institute. And we bring the teaching to them in their own language, context, and place, okay? But we have full this year, okay? And COVID came, last year, and COVID came. And I was talking with Stephanie, it was like a glass of water with ice, like COVID, because we were in lockdown. We couldn't move, we couldn't do anything. And the first week was okay, but then, the first month, like that, we were working, we need to do something. So we met by Zoom with all the team, and Héctor said, okay, we need to do something. We can move, say this missionary there. No, we don't do anything. And Héctor said, yes, we can do something. Let's begin notes to the pastor. There was a publication that we used to have many years ago, but our country, they closed the mail service. So we couldn't send any publication like that anymore. So Héctor said, let's begin with this and let's do it by email, by Facebook, by whatever we have. So let's begin this publication. So we began with this publication, and all the missionaries, they were writing something. And Héctor, because he has his PhD in education, he knows how to read and everything, he doesn't know how to read. So he was just reading everything and putting it in a nice way, you know. And there were other people fixing everything. So we made the first publication. And we only got 200 people, pastors, interested in the publication. And they said, yes, we got 200. And others came, we only have 200. Let's pray the Lord, we have at least 200 people interested. So the the publication began and became a magazine, a monthly magazine. And now in May this year, we have almost 20,000 people reading the magazine. Yeah, and it was about the women. I wrote an article, and people is reading this magazine in Mexico, Guatemala, Central America, Panama, Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, Spain, Portugal, and yes, almost 20,000 people reading this magazine. So we praise the Lord for this.
Thank you very much, Patty, for sharing. So we're going to let Stephanie